I'm gonna get a Coke.
Well, the in the Bible it
You
talks.
didn't get your Coke, huh?
I know. I asked you when you were leaving to get a Coke.
Oh,
My shot did.
That's all good.
I'm sorry.
Does anyone want anything?
But
No, I'm good.
in the Bible, apparently, your average Christian thinks tribulation is coming, right? Jesus is gonna eventually come, right? Tribulation, we're gonna be judged, right? And then there's gonna be a 1,000-year millennial where Jesus returns and rules for 1,000 years, and all the resurrected apostles are gonna be kings, and they're gonna rule this realm that we're in. That's what the tribulation. Jesus returns. 1,000-year millennium. This is in the Bible. And then after the 1,000 years, and then during those 1,000 years, there's a guy named Paul Stobbs I had on my podcast. He told me all about this. He's on YouTube, Understanding Conspiracies on YouTube. Paul Stobbs, he's amazing. He's talking about, so that's what we're waiting for. Jesus' return, he rules for 1,000 years. He's the king of this earth. And then while those 1,000 years are going on, Satan is chained to the lake of fire. So there's no Satan. It's just Jesus and his apostles ruling. And then after the 1,000 years, this is called the little satanic season. It's in the Bible too. I checked, Doc. The little season where Jesus lets Satan go, and then Satan rules this earth, and he influences all the nations. And it's called the little satanic season. And the purpose of that is to test people. And there's a theory that he already ruled he came back in the apostles' lifetime and ruled. They already did that 1,000-year millennial, and now we're in the little season right now. Doesn't it seem like Satan is influencing all the nations? Doesn't it seem like an evil world?
Well, it seems like evil has always been a part of the human race. There's always been people committing genocide.
Yeah.
There's always been evil. There's always been people that justify murder for money.
Yeah.
Bombings of fucking apartment buildings.
I sent them a link, like a 2-minute video. Jamie, can you play this real quick? This guy explains. It's really, and then you'll see all the structures. So that explains. So there's a theory. Is a theory that it explains all these structures that were built by angels.
Well, you got to wonder when you get back to that Zecharia Sitchin stuff, because one of the things about this whole Anunnaki thing was that they were giants. And the big theories are that the giants bred with human beings, which probably means some sort of genetic engineering, like taking existing primates and turning them into human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, those are the most fun. Those are the most fun. The idea that we were visited by an alien and an alien race, and this alien race is far superior, and that they used us as slaves to mine for gold. Those are the most fun theories. This is such an Eddie Bravo subject.
Today, to walk me through this.
Here we go.
Okay, I'll try and cover most
Sounds
bases.
like Bryce Mitchell talking.
I'm not going to be able to thoroughly explain every single nuance today in 2 hours. It's just not going to happen. What I'll try my best to do in this talk is give a foundational overview of most of the talking points involved around this theory, and it's a working theory. Let's bear that in mind. We're still figuring things out. There's multiple options for certain sections of this theory where it could have gone, so I'll try my best to relay as much as I can. But the basic premise to work off here is that what most modern Christians are waiting for today is the return of Jesus Christ after the tribulation. And we all have our eyes on the signs. We're trying to discern the signs around us, trying to determine who the Antichrist will be, what the mark of the beast will be, all of those things. We're kind of looking for them and waiting for those signs to happen, which will be the signs of the coming of the Son of Man in the clouds, okay? Which will be tribulation, judgments, and then obviously a millennial reign is what people are waiting for. And people get to live with Christ for 1,000 years, as it says in Revelation 20. So people are pretty adamant we're living in that time. We're living in the time just before tribulation. It's just around the corner. It's just about to happen. Okay, that's what people are pretty adamant where we're at. That's the mainstream thought of not only conspiracy Christians, but just mainstream churchianity. That is the view of modern Christians. We are in that time. There have always been other views out there which say, it's a spiritual kingdom and we're living in it now, and that goes on forever and ever, and there's no physical kingdom and all these type of things. You have amillennialists who believe that type of thing. What this theory says kind of blows it all out of the water. It's a completely new take on the situation. There has been a worldview called preterism, which was created a while ago, I think about the 1600s by I think it was, people say it was a Jesuit, but it may have been a Jesuit. But this theory we have today is not preterism, classically so called. It's kind of it's something else, and a lot of people who don't like this idea will attack preterism and think that's what we're talking about. Most preterists, even they believe it's a spiritual kingdom, and we're not saying that here. We're talking about a real, physical, tangible 1,000 years where Christ reigned on earth. This theory posits it's all already happened. We're not living in the times just before tribulation. We're living after the 1,000-year reign of Christ. He's already been on earth. He has reigned for 1,000 years on earth with his resurrected saints and the elect who survived through tribulation.
Wouldn't there be a record of that?
And
doesn't it make sense that Christians would document that? I mean, if there's
he
all
goes
this
over that.
documentation.
No, he goes over like why if there was a record and we knew, then this wouldn't be a test. There wouldn't be a reason for the little satanic season. He let Satan out. He unchained him. There's a painting of Lucifer, and he looks just like the fucking Statue of Liberty, and he's got a chain, like a shackle around his ankle with a broken chain, and it's a famous painting of Lucifer, and he's like this, right? And then you look at the Statue of Liberty, that's not a woman, that's a dude. And it's got a fucking shackle around its
I thought it was a strong
ankle
chick.
with a broken chain. The
Statue of Liberty has a shackle around its ankle?
with a broken chain, just like the famous
Find
painting
the
of,
painting
No,
of
you can find
Lucifer.
that. Just punch in Lucifer, Statue of Liberty.
So much fun.
Dude,
Why
the
are
Statue of Liberty
conspiracies
is not a
so-
chick.
so much more
That's not a
interesting.
chick.
It's not a
dude.
chick.
That's not a chick.
It's a trans dude.
I just thought you had a strong jaw.
Strong jaw and some
Nose.
some boobs, man boobs.
Look at that. That's a painting of
Look at the
Lucifer,
arms.
right?
Whoa.
Right?
Damn.
And you think that's a chick?
Go to the
And
full
It could
painting.
be France just
Look at that.
trolling us, though.
look at the chain. He's got a.
Damn, Lucifer's dick is gone. He's got the Harvey Weinstein.
Go to the.
And there's the chain.
Look at that right there. Boom. Look at that.
Whoa.
Wow.
Look at that. That's the foot of the Statue of Liberty. Broken chain with a shackle.
But Satan has two arms up in the air.
Yeah.
It's basically.
No, I don't know.
the-
I don't know. This is just crazy conspiracy
the
talk.
chain
This
is
is
Completely
weird.
identical.
This
It's
is crazy
basically
shit.
the Elon Musk. My heart goes out to you.
Yo. I'm gonna say this, dude. Jesus
That is
is
to be still
Lord.
framed somewhere on
Yes.
I'm all
on
in,
CNN.
dude. I'm all in. I'm all in with all this. With the Shroud of Turin, I'm all in, man.
Loosen the
Christ
ruffles,
is
two arms
king.
up.